Hello and welcome to South Sea Matters. My name's John Sands, and today I have the very great pleasure of having in front of the camera Mr. Cliff Partridge. Welcome, Cliff. Welcome to South Sea Matters.
John. Thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this, as you know.
Well, we live very close together. We're neighbours, so it's great that we can do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for people who don't know you, just explain a little bit about who you are.
So my name's Cliff Partridge, and I've been running Mind Matters now, which is hypnotherapy and neuro-linguistic program. What a mouthful. Yeah. So that's about 2003, 2004, and it's all around cognitive behaviour, hypnotherapy, and, of course, how does your mind work?
Yeah, now that's a particular fascination for me. As
Yes,
you know,
neuroscience
is something that I get involved with, and how the mind, whether you like it or not.
It,
and what it does. Yeah. So your business, you're in that business. Just explain a little bit more about your services, what you offer.
So basically, people that seem to be stuck. That seems to be a very popular word when people say, well, I'm kind of stuck, I'm in a rut, I can't get out. Now, this can be obviously with relationships or with habits that they don't want to have anymore. But at one stage, those habits were useful, which seems to be, when I talk to my clients, really? Yeah. Well, they were, otherwise you wouldn't be using them. So,
and you create pathways, don't you? So these things, things, as you said, rightly so there, are maybe not good for you, but it's an air of, you're comfortable around them. It's just, and this is this whole neuro pathway that you are building, this path more trodden.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. The most weirdest thing is, if you think about it like this, most of our behaviours are unconscious. In fact, 99%, 999 recurring, they are unconscious. We don't know why we're doing them, but we are just doing them. So, but unfortunately, it's like you're running Windows 98 on like Windows, whatever it is now. I don't know.
Windows 10 now.
Is it Windows 10 now? It's not going to 11 then.
This wouldn't know anything about Windows 98 or 95.
So we've got these programs that we're running that we don't actually know why we're running them or what's making them run. And the most interesting thing I find is the actual behaviour is out of date.
Yeah.
It's really quite out of date. And usually, not all the time, they're what we say is content or situation dependent. So you can be really, really confident in something that you do, but not confident in something else. So people can be really, I've had interesting people, as I would say, come to me, I want to learn to drive. Right, okay, that's not a problem. I can help you with your confidence. Oh, no, no problem with confidence. It's like, well, maybe you might need some competence first.
Yeah.
Competence, otherwise you're just I can drive a car. We've all said that. Get in the car, especially me. And the driving instructor said, how many driving lessons you had? None. Well, it looks like we're going to crash then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we need to have the competence first before we have the confidence. So, but that's just one aspect. So when it comes...
So you offering people a toolkit to deal with this kind of thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's different types of counselling, isn't it? I mean, I've been CBT before, who may give you a toolkit. There are people that will just basically sit there and let you find out how to deal with it. Yes. So what is your approach to that?
So as you mentioned before, these neuro pathways that we create through no fault of our own hinder us in lots of different ways. So we look at different tools and behaviours of how to change that. Yeah. So a really simple thought that not many people think of is, how do I want to be? Yeah. Most people, if they're stuck, they're thinking about everything that's wrong. I can't do this. I don't want this. Yeah. So, and as you know, as soon as you start thinking about what it is that you don't want, the chances are you're going to get it.
Yes.
Keep thinking about not tripping over for a week.
You're gonna trip over.
And that's because all the energy is going to that idea. So.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for quite a while now.
Yes.
Sort of after COVID and what's happened with COVID, there's been a lot of different ways that people are affected by that. For example, I was affected physically by COVID. How are you finding with your conversations with the people that you work with? How are things changing, or are they the same? It's just a different, different colour to that.
It's a great question. It's a great question because things are changing now. In a sense of it's more. How can I put it? There's more light on the subject. People are getting a better feeling about mental health than ever before. The royal family have brought it up, and they keep bringing it up, which is a really, really good thing to do.
And even in the services now, somewhere where it will be, it just would not be.
No,
when I was
it's taboo.
81 to 85.
Yeah.
You just pull your socks up and get a grip.
Yeah. But now there's, we just don't. I do find the problem sometimes it can go too far. Social media does not help some people,
of course not.
And I do feel quite sort of sorry for the youth of today because they get sucked into, and that can create a lot of problems. But for my kind of work, it's trying to resolve the problems and looking at what people actually want in their life, and not what they don't want in their life. And that can when you usually ask that question, what do you want in the future? How do you see yourself in the future? Can you get a good feeling about yourself in the future? What can you smell? And 9 times out of 10, I don't know.
Yeah.
And your brain must have a future plan. Otherwise, if there's no future plan, then you end up doing the same thing again and again.
But that future plan may also be the fact that you're going to do the same thing again.
Over and over again, yes, yeah.
Because in my, I hesitate to use the word study, but my experience of neuroscience is those neural pathways, they take a physical effort to change. It's like you've got a path going through the brambles.
You've got it.
Yeah, and it's lovely. Well, it's not lovely, it's a path, and you can get there, but you're going to get eaten by tigers or whatever on that path.
On that path.
The only way out that is to go into the brambles and clear another path.
That's right.
Which you may not find, because the brain is amazingly plasticity.
That's it. Yes.
It can change, but it does involve work by yourself to do that. And some people either don't know or don't have the mindset to do that.
That's right. Now, the one of the things that you can do is just keep thinking about how you want to be.
Yeah.
Now, you can just go, I want to be more confident. I just want to be more confident.
Have more money.
I want to have more money. It's that sort of thing of like, well, you've got to find the how. The how is incredibly important. And we know the brain loves information. Whether it gets the right information or not is really important. So you've got to see yourself in the way that you want to see yourself. Now, that can be uncomfortable for some people.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to seeing themselves the way. Now, if that doesn't work, then you've got to go, what are you hearing?
I almost liken it to a abusive relationship.
Yes.
Because lots of people are in abusive relationships, but it's comfortable for them.
Yes.
It's not good for them. And they feel, well, actually, I'm used to it. I'm in the same house. I do that. Yeah, they beat me up every now and again or whatever. Or mentally, which can be worse.
Yes.
But it's still a comfortable
the
thing.
devil you know, as they say.
It's a comfortable place to be, isn't it?
Yes. Now, the really interesting thing about that is because the mind or the brain cannot actually visualize how they would like it.
Yeah.
Then you go back to what you know. Or if the picture's too big for you to make that step to come out of a relationship, you're going to find usually there's going to be so much negativity around. This is going to be big. It's going to upset everyone. I couldn't live myself. And then the next thing you know, you just forget about it because no one goes towards feelings that make them feel bad.
No.
So you avoid them.
Yeah. Of course. I've experienced that myself. Where it's that the old phrase, isn't it? Of I don't, like you say, don't upset anyone. It's easier if I just keep quiet. Carry on doing this because the alternative is pretty horrific.
Yeah.
At that place and time. So you are offering counsel to these people.
Yes.
How do people find out more about this, and how do they find get in touch with you?
Well, what I would suggest is for anybody that's interested is to just check out neuro-linguistic programming. You can find me on my website. All you've got to do is just Google Cliff Partridge and you'll find me immediately. What does NLP stand for? neuro-linguistic programming. Again, it's your neurology.
Yeah.
There was quite an interesting story that came about when they realised that these sort of technical sort of looking at things and chunking things down, excuse the jargon, was working.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what are you going to call it? And I think Bandler said, well, I've got a book on programming. And Greenler said, well, I've got a book on linguistics. And, oh, look, there's a book over there on neurology. So,
let's put a bit of glue.
That's it. And then I loved Bandler's approach because there was this fascinating story, apparently, where he saw this advert in Psychology Weekly. When this was, I don't know, it's a while back, where it asked for 200 people with phobias to do an interview.
Yeah.
So he thought, can you imagine that waiting room? So like, so he
laughed.
Oh, no, it's not funny, really.
No.
So then he thought, well, let me get 50 people together that used to have a phobia that now hasn't got a phobia. So they did, and they only interviewed 20 people, and they found out they were all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
To stop what it was they were doing. So they thought, hold on, let's use that model. Let's grab that model, find it.
We could talk for bloody hours on this, and we will, I think.
I hope so. I look forward to it.
Yeah. So for anyone who wants to get in touch with you, just search for, can't be many Cliff Partridges.
Yeah, Cliff Partridge. Yeah, or you can actually put NLP Cliff and it'll come up.
And they can find out about that. And just give you a shout, have a chat. Obviously, To do that, we've done it many times.
And
so absolutely fascinating. Like I said, I could go on for hours. But people will be asleep on the other side of the camera. Have you noticed people's attention span has just gone bleh? They won't listen for anything that's more than 10 minutes.
10 minutes long.
10 minutes long, so they've gone by now. Fascinating. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions. More personal questions. Stuff a bit of fun. Name me a film that you've watched more than once and why.
Spinal Tap.
Oh, yes.
Spinal Tap, because, again, it was literally made up on the spot. It was just, and I probably watched it over 500 times.
Oh, really?
I must have done.
Nice.
Because it goes to 11, as you know.
Of course.
Spinal Tap.
Okay, so Spinal Tap.
Really
understand that. I can see why that's, we've spoken about it before. What about a superpower then? I'm your fairy godmother. I can give you a superpower. What would that be?
Mr. Magnetic.
Mr. Magnetic.
I like the idea of attraction.
You'd be walking around with spoons over.
Not that.
I
don't want to go to there. That could go to 12, not 11. But just attract other things in a weird magnetic way, kind of thing.
Oh, nice. So the personality magnetism. An actual magnetic. You don't want to attract iron filings. Or
no. I've gone through that phase.
Okay. Right, last one. A person, dead or alive, that you would like to go down the pub and have a pint with.
It would be my dad.
Yeah.
I'd love to go and have another Ben Truman's with my dad.
Yeah. Why, that's a silly question.
Yeah.
You know, you sit and watch people on the telly and they ask these stupid questions, but I'm going to ask one here.
Yeah.
Why?
Why me dad or why Ben Truman's?
We'll start with your dad and go to
Ben I think as much as I spent enough time, and I spent a lot of time with my dad, it would just been nice to know him now as Cliff now.
Oh, yeah.
To what Cliff was then, so.
Fabulous.
But I do, share some of his, mannerisms and stuff like that. Yeah. And you can feel it sometimes. You can feel your dad or your mum, and that's what makes life kind of special, really, isn't it?
It does. Well, Cliff, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for your time, mate. Thank you for your time.
South Sea Matters, stuff like this you can see, really, really interesting. I've got the food pantry coming up. I've also got Nusha from South Sea Eyes. There's lots of stuff. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to Facebook. I've got a Facebook page as well. And just do a search for South Sea Matters. Thank you for listening and watching, and see you soon. Take care.
Bye for now.